Hi there, greetings all of you, my dear friends, fellow Africans. The President of the United States of America, Mr. Donald Trump, has imposed sanctions to South Africa after signing executive order cutting aid to South Africa and offering resettlement in the United States of America for the Afrikaners community that living in South Africa. Trump, I think, must be taken to school, to history school, to recognize. And of course, instead of punishing South Africans, I think Mr. Trump has to think about how Africans must be getting reparation. Africans must be paid for what the colonizers did instead of continuing punishing Africans. Trump is punishing us, the people of Africa, but their grandfathers punished our grandfathers. They colonized us. They take us to slavery, into slavery, through slavery, these trades, slave trade. And now the same people, Trump is going to sanction again Africans. So when Africans will get relief, Trump must understand that Africans, we have passed through hard life for many years. We have passed through colonialism, slave trade, and now we are under sanctions. So when Africans will get relief, and why we are being punished by the same people. Europeans came to Africa, colonized us, chained our grandfathers, our ancestors, took us into slavery. You see, now their grandchildren are putting sanctions on Africans. They put sanctions in Zimbabwe, now on South Africa. So Trump must learn the issue of land in Africa. The land in Africa, the land belongs to Africans. No Europeans who came with the land in Africa. So, and Africans were there since then. That's why one day I was, of course, wondering, how is it possible that the Europeans came to Africa and said they discovered the mountain, they discovered the rivers, they discovered historical sites, while communities were there. Africans were there since then. The colonizers came to us, fought us, take us away from our areas, divided us, put these borders. Trump, I think, know very well these issues, but because these issues is defending the white people, that's why Trump has decided to take the side of white people. And now Trump wants to give settlement to Afrikaners. So Trump is preparing environment to take white South Africans to America. So what does this mean? So let me go and read the statement released by the EFF. Thank you. The EFF has released a statement, and this is the statement that released by the EFF. I'm going to read the statement. EFF statement on the executive order signed by the US President Donald Trump cutting foreign aid to South Africa and offering resettlement in the USA for the Afrikaner community. Saturday, 8th February 2025. Economic Freedom Fighters EFF has observed the frantic and irrational actions by the President of the United States of America, Donald Trump, who on the 7th of February 2025 signed an executive order altering foreign aid and assistance to South Africa and providing humanitarian relief in the form of the resettlement for Afrikaners in the United States of America through its refugees admissions program. The executive order is clearly illogical as it ignores the fact that Trump was most recently, on the 4th of February 2025 this year, signed an executive order freezing the admission of refugees and cutting funds for the very same resettlement program. This is testament to the erratic nature of policy making that has overtaken U.S. foreign policy, which is controlled by emotions and misinformation. The reason cited by the United States of America President Donald Trump for signing this executive order is the reason cited by the US President Donald Trump for signing this executive order that South Africa is practicing discriminatory and race-based laws against an ethnic minority referred to as Afrikaners, and he particularly cited the Appropriation Act 13 of 2024 as a mechanism to seize agricultural property without compensation. Additionally, and of more realistic and fact-based importance, Trump cites that South Africa has taken an aggressive position against the United States and its allies, citing in particular the case by the South Africa in the International Court of Justice (ICJ) against Israel for its genocidal crimes against the people of Palestine. This is the real reason why the US is pursuing any form of cutting of aid and is arming diplomatic relations with South Africa, not the baseless misinformation of confiscation of land and an illegal treatment of Afrikaners. South Africa is being punished for supporting Palestinian people and condemning Israel for its genocide. The USA is practicing retribution against South Africa at the behest of apartheid Israel because South Africa has been at the center of exposing the murderous Israel regime, which has killed more than 100,000 Palestinian men, women, and children, and bombed schools, hostels, and religious sites of worship, rendering Gaza as a place of labor. This retribution comes on the back of Donald Trump declaring that he intends to effectively colonize Gaza and further displace Palestinians from their land in order to build a political and economic sanctuary for Zionist and US citizens, which will be owned by the United States of America. Over the past few weeks, much has been made of the impact and importance of the US foreign aid to development program, not only in South Africa, but across the world. It is undeniable that this aid has played a critical role in supporting South Africa's response to HIV and AIDS and healthcare initiative, but the role of this aid has been massively overstated. The President's Emergency Plan for AIDS Relief, PEPFAR, is the only program of support provided by the USA to South Africa's HIV and AIDS program, and constitutes only 17% of our national HIV AIDS response program. Foreign aid provided by the United States of America has always been an instrumental used for undue influence over the recipient of aid, but it has now become an aggressive tool to undermine our economic and policy sovereignty. It is for this reason that South Africa must be bold. As such, and considering that the real reason for effectively severing diplomatic relations with South Africa by the United States is our firm positive against Israel, the EFF call for the immediate implementation of resolution by the Sixth National Assembly of South Africa to expel the Israeli embassy and cut all diplomatic and economic ties with Israel. Further, to this, South Africa must revoke the citizenship of any individual who assumes refugees status in the United States of America on the basis of this executive order, as it would be a declaration of the belief that South Africa's law, which seek to promote equality and social cohesion, are not in synchro. With such an individual's value, no one is being persecuted in South Africa, and to fly to the United States of America under this pretense should result in an immediate revoke of citizenship. No one who flees to the United States of America on the basis of misinformation and is in support of an attack of our sovereignty should retain South African citizenship. The EFF will, in the 7th National Assembly, raise the need for the implementation of the resolution to expel the Israeli embassy and mobilize global society to oppose the colonization of Gaza by the United States of America. Gaza belongs to the people of Palestine, and they should determine its future. In light of the aggression by the United States of America against South Africa, we must, as a nation, seriously consider strengthening ties with Russia, China, and nations who belong to BRICS to avoid unnecessary confrontations with maniacs such as Donald Trump. The USA, under the leadership of Donald Trump, is progressively isolating the world by imposing tariffs and sanctions on nations who refuse to bow to their authority and imperialist actions, and will soon dwindle into insignificant because no one will have an interest in trading or relating to them as a nation. So, kings and queens, ladies and gentlemen, that is the statement released by the EFF toward the executive order signed by the President of the United States of America. So, Mr. Donald Trump, so South Africa is going to be punished because, of course, I've been saying this many times, that you remember that South Africa has been accused by America that South Africa supported Russia in the war in Ukraine. Also, you remember that America was not happy with South Africa to take Israel to the International Court of Justice. So all these things are making America angry, especially, not all Americans, especially those powerful people like Donald Trump are not happy with what South Africa is doing. And one thing that America don't like to see is Africans who are in South Africa to own the land, because this land has minerals, has resources. So Trump wants to continue to see Africans at the backside of the development. So I think Mr. Trump must understand and recognize that this land was taken from Africans. This land was not came with colonizers. You know, when settlers came to South Africa, they found the land. The land was there. Europeans didn't came with the land to South Africa. So Mr. Trump must recognize that this is the land owned by Africans. And that's why you can't find Africans who own the land in Europe or in China or in Russia. We know that the land in Russia is the land owned by Russians. The land in America owned by Americans. The land in China owned by the Chinese. And the land in Africa is the land of Africans. So